subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
All right, everybody, how y'all living, man? We here. We're doing that late night tap in. Glad to have the family tuning in. Still down here in the lovely, lovely Houston, Texas. Vacationing for the holidays. Feeling the vibe down here. Shout out to all the Texas folks. And shout out to all the regulars in the room. Let me give y'all some quick shout outs and libations. Gotta shout the regulars out. Let me see who I see in the building. I see our good LA brother Joel C in the building. I see more melanin in the building. I see brother Average in the building. RJ, even though he's a tether, he's a regular. So shout out to RJ, brother Lando, Mr. Miles, America, uh, Adonis, Soul Food, Sir Mike, Dominique, Nikki the God, Wayne Dretsky, the I'm Diavion. I got to pronounce your name right. Shout out to brother Diavion. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some calls from the family in a minute. So y'all start getting ready to raise your hand because you know how we do. We talk about every and anything on here. But the FBA family, y'all got to come down to Houston. If you haven't visited Houston, y'all got to come down here. Lovely city, real lovely people, beautiful city, pretty clean city for the most part. Food is great. We they got those Whataburger places all over. We went to Whataburger last night. That was good. We went to a great fast food joint. Um, what's the name of that place? It's a fast food chain out here. Very good chicken wings. Chicken wings, very, very good. Frenchies. We're my Houston people. Frenchies, delicious. And from what I understand, these are Beyonce's cousins who own the joint. But Frenchies, very delicious. We loved it. We're my Houston folks. Y'all, what y'all know about Frenchies? Good, good ass wings. It's a fast food joint. That's what I like about here. You can go through the fast food joints and get all the different varieties of stuff. They got greens and baked beans. We don't get that in LA. You don't get drive-through soul food. You don't get that, man. No, we got to stick to tacos, burritos, and chicken nuggets out there in LA. Man, we had drive-through mac and cheese. I loved it. So shout out to Frenchies. Beautiful. Houston is a very unique city. The crackheads wake up very early out here. What's up with y'all crackheads in Houston? Where we're staying over in the third ward, over there by Beyonce's birth home. It's a nice area, but like they be morning crackheads out here. Do they get morning exercise? The crackheads exercise in the morning, I think. I'm dead serious. The crackheads are up very early out here. Like I'm looking out my Airbnb window. There was a crackhead outside my window doing the goddamn South Side in some Christmas boots, and then just walked on off. He's out there dancing and he walked off. I'm like, okay. So the crackheads be up early out here in Houston. And then you don't see them no more. Throughout the rest of the day, you don't see them. You just see them very early in the morning. All right. I don't know if they're just still up from smoking crack all night and they're about to go somewhere and go to bed. I don't know. I'm very confused, but Houston is an experience. It's an experience. Very talented crackheads because this he was getting it in. There was no music playing, but he was getting it in. Um, I got a question for the family. Listen, we've been seeing a lot of spaces where a lot of the tethers and all these other people have been crashing out. That lady who called in the other day, that Pan-Africanist chick who's a feminist, she's been crashing out in spaces. The Myron Gaines, he's been crashing out. Just tethers and Pan-Africanists and oppie niggas and old niggas. People have been really crashing out in these spaces. And the theme and the common denominator about these crash outs is us delineating. Foundational Black Americans, we are delineating and letting everybody hold their own nuts. You do you, we do us. You know, we'll meet at the crossroads, but we're going to do us right now. And that just has a lot of people toe up. That has a lot of people just crashing out. This one woman who had called earlier in the week, she's been doing marathon spaces whining about foundational Black Americans. And this woman was just like in tears, crying, like, oh God, why are we so divided? All this why are we divided stuff. Divided means that we are letting them handle their own business. And she was up here threatening to go back to Africa and all this old nonsense. And that's the question. The Pan-Africanists out here. Do we have any in the room? I would like to ask some of the Pan-Africanists in the room. Shout out to you guys, no disrespect. But with the Pan-Africanists, what's stopping the Pan-Africanist from all just getting together and flocking over to Africa and building red, black, and green town or whatever y'all try to preach to us? What's stopping you guys? That's a legitimate question. I would really like for somebody to answer that. Because a lot of the Pan-Africanists, their whole energy is basically denigrating us and trying to recruit us who don't want to go over there to move. Their whole energy space is basically denigrating us because we don't want to be seen as generic Africans and we ain't really trying to bounce. So all the energy is, oh, y'all niggas want to stay here under the white man. Y'all want to be under colonization. It's all of these shaming talks. But my question is, okay, if we just want to sit here and be colonized, why are you not getting together with about 10, 20,000 other people who are Pan-Africanists like you? What's stopping all of you from just going over there and getting it popping like you keep telling us we should get it popping? Legitimate question. What's stopping you people? Foundational Black Americans, we're not at the airport forming a human chain around a plane so you can't leave. The Pan-Africanists, they make everything about us. We are stopping them. Those of us who delineate, the whole narrative is that we're stopping them somehow. How? Why don't you go find the people who are like-minded like you instead of just being in spaces whining about us all damn day? Just go in there and get it popping. Why won't they do that? Legitimate question, Miss Stacy. Yes, ma'am.
Me, it just seems like when they do that, they want it's like they trying to trade places because we already, like you say, we get it popping over here. They want to
Mm-hmm.
come over here where it's already done and relax and kick back, and they want to send us over there to get their to fix their problem. They're like, oh well,
Right.
the FBAs they did it over here. Maybe they can go over there and do it for us that way we don't have to
Mm-hmm.
do it. But it's like nobody's trying to do that. We did our work and we still got work to do over here. So that's the only thing I could think of. I just feel like they're just being lazy and they want to take advantage of what we've already done and
Mm-hmm.
want to trade places with us.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Because all of these shaming tactics against us, okay, yeah, we don't want to go. Oh, y'all, you hate the motherland, nigga. You how will you distance yourself from your mother? Is okay. All right. We moved out of mama's house or whatever. So you go back to mama. How come you ain't back over there at mama house? And 20 or 30,000 other people who think like you, because all of y'all, all 20,000 of you seem to make it to our spaces. What's stopping you from going over there? Well, I'm working on it, nigga. It's always I'm working on it.
All right, so I'm sorry, I'm listening from my wife's phone, but I was listening to what you're saying, Mr. Tariq.
Yes.
I'm originally born, bred in South Africa,
Oh,
so I know much about the African continent. Even within the Africans themselves, the word Pan Africanism, it's hard to even describe or even for them to understand what it means. you gotta get me on this. It's easier for people to judge without even going to see what's happening. But what I can say is it's tough over that side. And what I've seen is most content that you see, it's kind of blocked within certain regions. For example, I came to this country 4 years ago, and every time everything we see is not what I'm seeing when I'm right in this country. There is a lot that happens in United States which we don't even see when we are in Africa. So Pan-Africanism, it's a hard thing and it's easier when people are busy talking about it, but people forget to factor in something that we call politics and who controls what and what. You can go to Africa right now and say, I'm gonna buy this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's not as easy as ABC. It's not even gonna be easy as ABC. And factoring in the color of our skin, even in the motherland, it don't work. No one even cares. What matters is how much do you have? How much are you gonna give me so that I can open this door for you?
Okay. All
You,
right.
you
Well,
get what I mean?
mm-hmm.
There is no such thing that because I'm black, because I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna be seen and I'm gonna do this. It doesn't work like that. It will never work like that.
Here's
I've always been explaining even.
here's the thing. You're in South Africa. Now, when the white folks go over there, all the red carpet is rolled out. So yeah, the color thing does make a difference, especially in South Africa, because I've been there. The white people are living in nice homes, condos, running water, eating good, popping bottles, and the Aboriginal people there are in those townships with no running water, baking that bush meat. I've seen it with my own eyes, brother. So the racial element is absolutely there. You understand? Right?
True, I'm with you on that 100%.
Hmm.
Uh, because exactly what you just said, back home, there is exactly what Americans call white privilege. It happens every day. We see it every day. It happens every day. But when I came here and I met white South Africans, they're complaining about life here. And I'm like, because you're not seeing the white privilege anymore.
All right.
There is exactly what you're saying. It's 100% true.
All right. Well,
Which is why every time someone talks about, I'm gonna bring in something, but it might be a little bit off topic. But I've met a lot of people complaining about racism in United States. I think it's way better here than if I can take you back to South Africa.
there
It's
you go.
even worse.
All right. Well, thank you so much, brother Solon. Hop in, sir.
Hey, good evening. Peace to you.
What's up?
Blessings. Peace
Go
to the
ahead.
family. So this needs to be covered in your new hidden colors. So why do some Pan-Africanists encourage Black Americans to become $5 Africans instead of having us fully solely focus on our unique identity, ethnic group, and tangible needs for us? So why that's what needs to be covered. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a legitimate question, man. That's a legitimate question. What's stopping people if you have the Pan African mindset? And we always hear people say that. What's stopping all of them from clicking up, going over there and getting the politics together and just getting it popping? It's always them over here talking that. And it's always them trying to convince us to go over there and get things built. So yeah, something ain't mathing up. The math ain't mathing. Let's get the brother with the Islamic letters. I cannot read those letters, but go ahead.
Bro, first of all, it's not Islamic letter Cosmoflex. It letters there are Christians. that and Hindus and atheists and many people that write that way. But because
What
you were
what
whitewashed,
what
yeah.
language?
You gonna allow me to talk, bro? You opened this.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a question. You came in here trying to talk slick and sarcastic, and you already have an accent. So it's kind of hard to understand. Your wit and sarcasm has failed because you're not that witty, and you look like you have something that's Islamic letters. So just answer the question and stop trying to be witty. Go ahead.
Yeah, bro. Listen, Cosmoflix. Here's a question I wanted to ask you for a long time, but
Before you ask me that, I'm going to ask you again. I ask you a question. You don't get to ignore questions and then flip and ask something else. What are those letters? What language is that? Let's try it again. Go ahead.
it's the same as your name, Tariq Nasheed. Your name,
It's Islamic. Those are Islamic letters, right? Those are Islamic letters, right? Or Arabic.
it's not a religious. It's an Arabic.
All
Arabic
right,
is not a
say
religious. It's not.
that. That's what I said initially. So stop playing dumb. So you're already coming in being deceptive. So now you've come in and established yourself as a deceptive con artist. Now, whatever you're going to ask now is going to probably be in bad faith. But go ahead, let's hear it.
No, I
Is
swear to God, it's not in a bad faith. I swear to God. I think African Americans are do have the right to get their reparations the same way as the Jews got their reparations from Germany because of Nazism and the concentration camps, and that was even for 3 4 years. Y'all been in a concentration camp for over 300 years. So how
and
the hell,
and when did you immigrate? How long have you been here in the US?
man? See, you're negative. I'm trying to support your case, and you trying to attack me. Why you being the devil? Why you being a
Asking you how long you've been here is attacking you? I just asked you how long you've been
no?
over here.
It's just irrelevant. It's just irrelevant. That's what.
How was that attacking you? Now you're projecting. Are you that insecure about having to leave your homeland? You think asking how long you've been here is an attack? You got
Bro, I'm not leaving my homeland, bro. I'm driving a Mercedes and a Range Rover. I swear on my mama. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not oppressed. I'm happy. I'm
I,
happy here.
I asked you how
What's
long have
wrong
you
with
been
you? Over 20 years.
how hard was that to say, sir?
But but how hard for you to stick with the conversation? I was talking about reparations and how here is the question. Who is the leader? That's the question. Can you be the leader of Flex Cosmo?
Well, besides your camel, who's leading your camel?
Bro, camel is expensive, bro. Camel is like 50,000. Like some of them did reach even 100,000. You
Who
don't
led
even
your
know.
who led your camel across
Why
the
you being
desert?
childish? Cosmo, you like as all as my parents. Why you childish, man?
Look, Tatalish, how long did it take with come on, Tatalish.
Okay, man. Listen, yeah, I figure you out. I figure,
Listen, Tatalish. What did y'all do for Thanksgiving? Did y'all have some baked bush meat? What did y'all do for Thanksgiving? Did y'all
bro.
have
I tell you, no. I tell you
some
what I did. I tell you what I
what'd you
did. I went to the mall and I was surprised. Americans they claim inflation's and broke, and the mall was hell. I've never seen. Everybody. I think the whole city was at the mall buying the.
so you were working, so basically this is translation. You were working at the 7-Eleven kiosk at the mall making Slurpees. So just say that. All right. Anyway, let me get some more callers because now you're getting boring. Go back to the Slurpee machine. Thank you, Tatalish. All right. Let's get Lee Wong James. Lee Wong James. Okay, this is the play on LeBron James. It's Lee Wong James. All right,
Yo,
what's
peace.
how
Oh
you doing?
shit, I gotta. I'm doing good, brother. I'll be quick. I got a bad connection. I got to bounce. I'm
Okay.
seeing the attack. I'm seeing the crash out. I don't know why. Like a couple questions I have is one, why now? Like it
Right.
seems kind of random. And they're trying to say you're an agent. Um, it's pretty clear you're an independent black voice. If you're an agent, agent to who? And where's the evidence? Like they make the allegations, but they never provide the
Because
evidence.
that's what agents say. That's their projection. Because they have nothing to, because usually they're tethers and they got nothing to agent against. The only people who got something going on is us. The only people who's influential is us. We're the ones who need some intervention of agents to stop the momentum that we have. So yeah, that's a lot of projecting that a lot of these folks do. That's all it is, and we know what it is. Yeah.
And then the last thing I was going to say is, when it comes to X, if you're going to come for Tariq, which is fine, we should engage in debate and discourse and critique people, but I can't sit back with someone like Myron Gaines on this app. If you got all
Yeah.
this heat and like this man came over as a child of an immigrant, and because of his skin color, he was recruited by police enforcement, law enforcement. I believe he abused his position to infiltrate the black community and cause harm to the black community. He publicly displays Klan paraphernalia. He promotes Klan culture, and then on his show, he denigrates black women and promotes violence. He actually encourages violence towards black people on his show. So he's a dangerous person. He needs to be investigated. He needs to be dealt with. I think that his
But
background in law enforcement really needs to be exposed. Just to have someone like this on the force and him to flaunt his certificates on his show or whatever. Like we really need to look into this. This dude is a preacher of hate, and he needs to be put in check and dealt with. But that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for bringing me up. Appreciate it.
thank you so much. Yeah, real talk, man. Yeah, that Myron guy is very dangerous. People just kind of say, "Hey, he's just a troll or whatever." But we got to watch cats like that. This guy worked for the federal government. He kind of brags about that. Think he worked for Homeland Security or something like that. You got to watch these cats, man. And the fact that he says the kind of stuff that he says, and he was clicked in with the federal government, that's a very interesting thing, family. Gerard, hop in. Mr. Gerard, hop in. Gerard, hop in. All right, since Mr. All right, Mr. Gerard, everything good over there? Okay. Mr. Gerard saying nothing. Let's get Abe in the building. Let's get Abe in the building. All right. Let's try this.
Tariq,
There you go, Abe.
yep, what's happening, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Big fan of you. Been following you for years.
Yes, sir.
I Thanksgiving, I had my talking to my mom. A lot of black people. It's I really think that there's a lot more black Trump supporters than people letting on. Because talking to my family, I didn't vote for Trump, didn't vote for Kamala, but I lean definitely more towards Trump throughout the campaign. Just talking to my mom, and my sister, who both very vocal about their support for Kamala. I was able to convince them that Trump was a better president in like 5 minutes. And I
Mm,
really think that a lot of people kind of put like this. It's like, they say stubborn as a mule. People were very stubborn in terms of not realizing that how she was just a bad candidate. Kind of just saying, oh, well, Trump is like, people don't want a black woman, da 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 da. But it's just like, nah, like people, black or white or whatever, I think just realized that she was not a good candidate. I'm
yeah.
sorry, digging up all this election stuff. I know it's been said and done, but just coming off fresh from yesterday, really just talking to a lot of different black people, a lot of black family members. They're just so it's so hard for a lot of black Kamala supporters to just admit that she just not was not a good candidate.
Yeah, they've been making a lot of excuses. They've been doing a lot of splaining. Did you guys see the video of actress Jennifer Lewis? And I like Jennifer Lewis. I like her. I think she's a funny sister and a very talented actress. But Jennifer, she was on somebody's interview, and she was on that. Yeah, a lot of black men want to keep black women in check. They didn't want that black woman in power. And, that's unfortunate. I hate that that sister has to toe the line for the DNC because a lot of black folks in Hollywood, that's how they got to roll. They got to really go out there and sell the soap for the DNC because Hollywood is very liberal. So these folks got to really get out there and stomp the yard for that, man. That's so unfortunate. But yeah, the black man, they just didn't want to see the black woman shine. No, no. Kamala Harris is not a foundational black American woman. And they're not going to spin that and try to convince us otherwise. She's just not. And she was a bad candidate. And the fact that the delineation movement was high in swing, that was one of the reasons why she lost, because they cannot do the whole we all one big Negro thing. And that's why we've been getting so many people crashing out and targeting not just me, but all of us on the grassroots. This is why we've been seeing an uptick on the attacks, and they just kind of start coming out of nowhere. But I told people that's going to start happening because the Democrats, and let's be clear, a lot of the attacks on us, a lot of these people crashing out in spaces, these people are clicked in with the Democrats. Don't make no mistakes about it. These people are clicked in with the Democrats. Even when we were trying to get the reparations things going, some of these people who are faking like they were grassroots, they were clicked in and they had vested interests in the Democrats, and they were crashing out at some of these hearings for the Democrats. You understand? There was a lot of that get your hand out my pocket type energy at these spots. And these people were sent in by the Democrats. The Democrats have these little shadowy organizations that they damn near run like a mafia, where they send these crash outs to undermine our stuff. There's a lot of that going on. Let's be very clear. There's a whole bunch of that going on. We saw the kind of money they were giving to the Rollins and the Sharptons and all that. You think those are the only people they were sliding some of that billions of dollars to? No, they were sliding some of that money to some of the crash out folks to come in our circles and really try to undermine us for real, just to get in real deep undercover and act like they're grassroots so that they can um, throw smoke bombs in the game. And the fact that we stood on our square to the point where the Democrats lost that election, they're trying to get their lick back. These people are studying us. They have been regrouping and coming into our rooms. They're really trying to get our lick back, their lick back. They want to get their lick back from losing that election. And they are crashing out heavy. I just saw somewhere Angela Rye was crying. She was some broadcast and she just busted out crying. These folks are losing their damn minds because their jobs are literally on the line. Their job is to sell the soap, to manipulate us and get us to get on the vote train and vote for nothing. And because we're not doing that, these people don't know what to do. The Boule class and the Tether class, who capitalize off of us, they're freaking out. And also, man, watch some of these so-called grassroots folks. Watch some of these people who act like they're grassroots and these people are ops and they're ops for the damn Democrats. That's why I want y'all to, when y'all see some of these crash out rooms and you see these dusty Negroes whining about me and other folks, look and see who's in the room with them. You see? That's what we look for. That's what I want to see. I don't give a damn about the dudes crashing out. We know they're ops. Who up in there with you? That's what I want to see. Who's up in there with you and who's platforming you? Who's putting you in these rooms and letting these folks say all types of reckless stuff? Who's putting you up in these rooms? Who's boosting your crash outs? You see? All of that says something too. I want y'all to understand there's a lot of these guys running these spaces acting like there's some staunch grassroots Reparationists, all man, please. Man, these dudes are so damn oppy. I saw a link earlier. They had about what 10, 15 spaces about me. This one nigga on that Dion Jenkins dude. That dusty, musty bitch nigga. He was talking greasy. Now, Dion, I know you probably in here, you boy. Now you know what it is with me. You saw me up there in the bay. You know what it is. This fool was all up in the reparations thing, heckling. When I went up there and saw all of that agent behavior, all that oppie behavior, I said, man, these people are deliberately trying to crash the shit out. And Dion was one of them fools. He's up in there walking around heckling, people talking and trying to have sensible conversations on stage, and he's in the corner heckling, yelling out weird, goofy shit. I saw this nigga do that shit with my own eyes. I'm like, these dudes are oppie as hell. What are we gonna do? They know good and well we're not going to get anything accomplished with fools in here acting stupid. They were in there acting, they had folks placed up in there acting a stone fool. And that was the purpose for them to act stupid, act a fool, so that the seriousness of the situation would be minimized. You see? A lot of that stuff going on. So we got to keep our eyes open around these people who come in these rooms and acting like they're doing this and doing that. And then when the rubber meets the road and it's time to really get things pushed, they start doing weirdo shit, crashing it out. Just like up there in the Bay. Remember, we were going back and forth about the reparations and what's going to be in the paperwork, what's going to be in the documents, what's going to be this, what's going to be that. And at the very last minute, when it's time to get the bill passed and let's go ahead and put it into law, that reparations caucus or whatever that keystone cobble thing that they put together, they started crashing out among themselves and just undermined everything.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up, Morph?
Hey, how you doing, Tariq?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I just wanted to I've been following you for a while now, so I just wanted to I since you were a rapper and all that stuff, I've seen you evolve over the years. So I just wanted to ask you because it was a time there was an era that used to be like more of pro-African, you used to go to Africa and all that stuff. Then but now you're more like delineate. I just wanted to find out what made you change, like evolve all that stuff. So what made you
Oh,
change from how you were before to what you are now? I just
right.
want to find out. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, what part of Africa are you from?
Oh yeah, I'm from Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah. Basically, my thing is that I'm still cool with the people in Africa. I'm still cool. I still travel. I still travel around the world. I'm still cool with people in Africa. My thing is I'm just prioritizing our empowerment here. That's it. I'm just prioritizing the empowerment here. My views of Africa has not changed. There's cool people, there's janky people. Um, I've never really viewed myself as a generic African because a lot of Pan-Africanists, and I've never had the Pan-Africanist mindset because the mindset of a Pan-Africanist is basically America's not really your homeland. You know, we're lost Africans stuck in America. That's the general mindset of a Pan-Africanist. I've never, I've always acknowledged and had pride in my American culture and lineage because we are the culture here. When I did the first Hidden Colors, let's be very clear. Look at the title, the subtitle, The Untold History of People of Aboriginal, African, and Moorish Descent. We talked about the Aboriginals here too. Hidden Colors, when we did that over a decade ago, 2011, we were one of the first films to talk about the Black indigenous people that were in the Americas. Nobody was talking about that. Most people didn't know that. There was nobody talking about that. We were the first ones to really, really break that down on a large scale, in a theatrical sense, and beam that around the world. So we've always acknowledged that, and I've always acknowledged our Aboriginal ancestry. That has never changed. So my views hasn't really changed. I'm just prioritizing the foundational Black American family here. That's all I'm doing. But thank you so much, Moore. I appreciate the question. Very good question, sir. All right.
No problem. Thank you.
Mhm. Nikki the God. What's up, beloved? Oh, Nikki, did I get you out of here, dear? Uh-oh. Let me get Nikki back up. My bad. I made a mistake and took you down, Nikki. Let's get Miss Nikki the God back up. I tried to get you on, dear. All right. While we're waiting on Nikki to get back up, let's get Himothy. Himothy got one of the troll frogs. So, what's up, Himothy?
I appreciate you having me on. I'll be quick, Tariq. I really appreciate what you're doing. The museum, everything you're doing. You're doing really good work, and I would think that, or I would say that you're really carrying on the legacy of, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Really furthering like Black initiatives, really Black. Like the Black consensus. So I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, Tariq, I'll be quick. I would be what you would call like a thether, like I'm a second generation. Like I was born here, but my parents are from elsewhere. But
Where
I'm
you,
really sorry. Go ahead.
where your parents from?
My parents are from Nigeria,
Really?
through South Africa though, so not Nigerian, but they're South African.
Um, are they European? I mean, because you
No,
kind of
no,
have,
they're South African, like Black South Africans, but they came through Nigeria.
but you have a Dutch accent. That accent is Dutch. Why do you have a Dutch accent?
I have a Dutch accent.
Yeah,
I do. I'm not Dutch. I'm
that's it.
Black.
Yeah, but that accent, that's what a lot of the Afrikaners, they kind of have that. That's kind of Dutch Norwegian accents you have. Very interesting. And but you live in South
Okay.
Africa.
Can I be quick and continue? I really appreciate you getting me on here. I'll
Well,
be really quick.
slow
But
down. Slow down. You lived in South Africa too?
no, 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 no. I'm from Michigan.
Okay, man, you all over the place. You're Nigerian, South
No,
African,
I'm
and
not Nigerian. I was born in America, right? But my parents are from South Africa originally. Maybe I should have said that. They're originally from South Africa. They came here, and I was born in Michigan.
now where did Nigeria come into play?
They lived in Nigeria for a bit, like a large portion of their, growing up and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But anyways, like I
Go
said,
ahead.
I kind of gave you your flowers because you. I was kind of surprised you hopped me on here, but I look at it this way: like I maybe I'm a bit wrong, but like I'm a segregationist because we had power. We could have had a political party, right? And I'm not like I've done the whole like okay, go back and find your roots. And like I said, your last podcast there, I wasn't tuned in live, but it was that tax you got taxed for your voice or whatever, right? And like even you kind of checked me. You're like, oh, where are you from, right? Like I've really never had the FBA, whatever, right? And that we're not gonna go into that, but I maybe have got socially taxed in this kind of group setting, but I'm
But to be honest, but I still think that you're a white guy. I think you're a white Dutch guy.
oh man,
Getting white Dutch, I'm just not buying the whole thing. That's why I'm just listening to you.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're a white.
Can I talk about my experience in Ghana?
Yeah, what happened in Ghana?
So I went to Ghana, right? Because I have family that lives there. And I got taxed all the time. Like
Okay.
people think you have money, like you go to shops, whatever, blah blah blah. So what I learned is there's a lot of problems in Africa, right? Like I looked at my mom as like uh, a beacon of what Africa is: conservative people, good people. But you go there and it's like they have their own problems, tribalism, etc., etc. I don't want to be quick, Tyree, but
No, the whole
like, go ahead.
ask you this. Now, you've been living in the US all your life, right?
Yeah, right,
And you're in it's not too far from Minnesota, right?
right.
When the whole thing went down with the George Floyd situation,
Hmm.
what do you think George Floyd died of an overdose of fentanyl, or do you think that, it was the guy got him?
I looked at that like, okay, that was highlighted in the media, but like there's been a lot of injustices that didn't make it to there, right? So they saw it plain view, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that was definitely, you know we kind of saw it in plain view, right?
Right.
So, like, people that say like, oh, he died of this and that, that's like a, you kind of know where they stand, right? By why they saying that, right? Like, it's like technicality, right?
Mhm.
In like law, if we're lawyers, that's an argument you can use, right? But like, you're not my criminal defense lawyer, right? Like, we kind of all saw it in like the court of public opinion, and like as a human, right? But it's like,
Right.
okay, everyone wants to be a criminal defense lawyer, and we can get technicalities, the blood out, all, you know what I mean? Like, you
Mhm.
kind of understand where we're going. Like, if someone was to bring this up, like, oh, he died of fentanyl, it's like, okay, I kind of understand where you're where you kind of lay, right?
Right. Right.
Right.
I
So go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Right. I don't know what he is all over the place. Base layer hop in.
Hey, brother, how are you, man? Thanks for the mic.
Go
So,
ahead.
when we go to reparations, if we're talking about providing reparations for folks, my genuine question to this is always: do we seek any sort of monetary deduction for everything that's been provided in between? So
Like what?
any sort of social assistance that's been provided um, to families throughout time, or do we see that as um, just a product of the environment, and from oppression? You know what I mean? So that it was necessary for people to receive some sort of public assistance, or do we deduct that from reparations when it's brought up?
Well, the thing is, well, many of us are not on social assistance, and also that's taken care of with our tax dollars already. So our tax dollars already covered that. And also, most of the social assistance goes to white people. So that wouldn't be factored in.
Well,
That
all
would
right. So that's fair enough, but then we factor in statistics as well. The white population is much larger than the black population or the African American population, depending on how you delineate that.
hmm
But so I mean, factoring that in, it kind of equals out. I'm genuinely curious about this. This is something that I often
and
try to approach this subject, and it's a delicate situation. It always causes arguments, but it's something that I'm actually serious about.
right now, if we factor that in, then we got to factor why black people are on welfare in the first place, and that's because of systematic deprivation in the form of white supremacy. So, black people are disproportionately targeted for economic deprivation. So that equals everything out. It goes back to reparations. We should not have been put in a position to have to get on welfare in the first place. So, if we have
Eh,
reparations, that would have skirted that, right?
No, now I did provide a little caveat to that when I said that, because there was definitely some oppression that happened, especially in the we'll say up to the 70s and 80s, right?
Oh, it
So, well,
didn't stop.
even more
Didn't,
so, but now it's kind of gone the other way. We can go into from the point of affirmative action, and how things were essentially handed to black folks from the point of affirmative action. So like I feel like that's something that we need to address when we're calculating all of this, right?
what? No, because affirmative action benefits damn near everybody except black people. We didn't get no real benefits from affirmative action. We got the crumbs of affirmative action. Affirmative action benefited your community. It benefited white women more than anybody, sir. It benefited white LGBT. It benefited white Hispanics. It benefited white $5 Indians pretending to be Native Americans. It benefited Asians. It benefited handicapped white people. So yeah, the affirmative action thing that won't work either because
Again,
affirmative.
again, again, though, hold on. You're given statistics on numbers based on population, whereas the black population has a much lower percentage. Like, if you're calculating all Caucasians into one group versus delineating by specific sex, right? And by sex, I mean SECTS.
We're just talking calories in a drink. Basically, you're saying that okay, a liter of Coke has 20 grams of fat per cup. All right, we can play that game, but it's still big fattening drink if you drink all of it. So we look at the racial statistics the same way. All of these groups, they classify as white. There's different subsets and ethnicities within whiteness, but it's still white. There's white LGBT, they're still white. You have Hispanics who classify themselves as white.
But hold on. If you're going to say that, why don't we delineate black folks the same
We,
way?
we do. Well, that's why we're saying foundational Black Americans are the ones who get reparations. We're absolutely delineating. Reparations is not going to be race based. We're going to make it lineage based. So all Black people are not going to get reparations. See, that's the great thing about delineation. We're talking about reparations for the descendants of freedmen. So, yes, there is absolutely a delineation. So, it's going to be based on lineage. That makes sense?
No, that makes perfect sense. I can vibe more with that than you always make the best arguments when it comes to this topic. So I mean that's why I requested a mic in your space tonight because you're educated on the facts. And I mean I still have many questions and it's going to take a lot of time and a long conversation to be able to
Mhm,
reach, to be able to reach those actual confirmations for me.
mhm.
Um but so no, I'll leave it at that for now. If you don't mind, I'll sit back for a moment and listen, and then I might have some more questions for you.
There you go, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. See, we can have these conversations without yelling, fighting. No, no, no. No, we can have this conversation real easily, very calmly, very coolly. Let's get what's your name? Fintecha?
Fintech.
Fintech. How are you, ma'am?
Tyreek, you are seriously one of the coolest MFers that exists. I want to have an open conversation.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Now,
I definitely do.
where you from?
So, what are we debating tonight?
Oh no, hold on. Where are you from, by the way?
Florida.
Well,
But how much time do you have? I was born in Washington,
okay.
grew up in California.
Mm-hmm.
I moved to Hawaii for 10 years. I then moved to Malaysia, Thailand, Spain, Mexico, back to Florida. Like I have been there and back.
Military.
And Israel if you want to throw it in there as well, but we won't go into that.
Military.
I actually love your spaces. You are so amazing. Like your energy on all of these issues is wild. And I appreciate you so much for letting me be here on this stage tonight. And let's go. Like, I want to debate whatever we're talking about.
Now, are you a military? Were you a military brat?
No, I met with our military to be to give all disclosure. Like at one point, I met with our military. I wanted to work in intelligence with the Middle East. I did not go into that. I went in another direction. So, like, I am a civilian.
Mm-hmm.
I am a civilian, 100%.
Well, thank you so much, dear. Let's get true you. Let's get true you in the building. True you. And if we don't get true you, let's get guapo.
What's up,
Guap.
Tariq? What's going on, man? How you doing, man?
What's up, brother Guap? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. I just come up here to tell you, welcome to my city, man. You know what I'm saying? Glad you had to brace your presence over here in my beautiful city. You
Yeah, I
know,
love. I fell in love with this dude. I fell in love with Houston. It's a fly city, man. People are cool as hell out here.
hey, listen, bro, you ain't got nothing to worry down here, homie. So have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna happen to you, bro. Be
Mm-hmm.
yourself, man. And anybody mess with you, homie, trust me, they gonna be on the 13 news by the morning, bro. You know what I'm saying? But have a good night, my G.
Much respect, brother. Man, yeah, I love Houston. Man, my family loves it, and they're sad that we have to leave. We really enjoy it down here, man. The vibe is beautiful. True you ready? All right. True you ain't got it popping the way he needs to get it popping. Let's get Edward Manda. Mr. Edward Manda in the building. Edward Manda.
Hey, what's up? What's
Ed,
up? What?
how you doing, Ed?
I'm doing great. What's going on?
Good. What's called up? What's on your mind?
Oh, I just joined to say, um, as much as I like what you're doing, um, where are all your promises that you promised people?
Like,
Obviously not me, but the people you represent.
like what?
Like the museum. You talked about the museum. What
The
happened with that?
museum for over a year. It's open tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, tomorrow. I'm gonna contribute. I'll pay for it. Tell me when and what time and how much it's going to cost me. I'm willing to pay for that.
Free to get. You can go up there and just go. West Jefferson Boulevard. Walk.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You
But
know,
you're kind of breaking up, though, probably to me.
you know, Google the times. It's not take my word for it. It's either true or it's not true. Why do you think we didn't have the museum? What made you think the museum wasn't?
Obviously, no one thought of making it. Probably that's why you thought of it. But it's supposed to actually happen. If you add that, it's going to educate a lot more people. I support that.
What made you think you came in kind of
Tariq, you keep breaking up, so I can't clearly hear you.
wait, can y'all hear me, family? Can the family hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Because you got some stuff going on in the background.
It's just a fun. That's it.
Now, and by the way, where are you from? Are you from Nigeria?
No, I'm from Zambia, but I'm Zambian American. So
Um,
I'm American anyway. So it
How
doesn't
long
matter.
how
But
long have you been how long have you been here in America?
a long time. Like since I was a kid.
Okay. But yeah, but what made you think we didn't have the museum? You came in kind of accusatory, like I made a promise that I didn't keep. What made you think that I didn't have the museum going? What made
Because ever since last year I was looking forward to your museum because I wanted to go visit and to see what you're gonna show. So I was waiting for that. No one told me. Maybe your marketing department missed that.
you know what it is? You know what it is?
But
Sounds like you know what it is? Sounds like you've been in spaces with tethers who've been lying about your fa- that's what it sounds like. Sounds like other troll rooms, instead of looking it up yourself, you were believing. Is that what it is, sir?
no. I was waiting for you to announce it. So I was waiting for you to announce it. Since I never heard you say it, I kind of hop in your spaces. But every time I hop in, you are saying, "Oh, we're gonna open a museum," blah blah blah. So I'm just waiting. So
I,
now this is the first time I've heard that tomorrow, yeah, it's open, so I can go see it. First
sir,
time, so yeah, I'll definitely go see it.
what city are you in?
Oklahoma City,
What city?
Oklahoma City.
Oh, so you're not even in LA. The museum is in LA. So how you gonna come see it and you ain't even in LA?
Like, it's Saturday. LA is just a plane ticket away from it. Literally, I told you, I want to see the museum. It's just a plane ticket.
You barely had a plane ticket to leave Zambia. How you gonna get a plane ticket to LA?
Yo, I'm a software engineer. Come on, are you
Sir,
are
you
you
know
messing around here?
what you had to do to get a plane to Zambia. You know what you had to do. So how you gonna get a plane ticket to LA?
Yo, it's a stupid plane ticket. It's not that complicated. It's not that expensive.
And by the way, sir, are you a Democrat? Are you
No, I'm not the Democrat. Are you kidding me?
mm,
Weak ass bitches. No, I'm an independent. But I can't be Republican. The damn as well.
mm. But no, you got some anti-Trump stuff on your page though. So you got a lot of anti-Trump stuff. What's going on with that?
Yeah,
And no,
because this. Yo, I'm never going to apologize for that shit. Trump isn't.
wrong
I
with it.
don't
There's
even
nothing
know why.
wrong with it.
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with being anti whatever politician. There's nothing wrong. I'm just pointing that out. Usually, it's a staunch Democrat.
No, 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 I can't believe we elected a criminal. Like, I can't believe that. That's it's amazing.
Mm.
It's mind-boggling. So people don't care about reality anymore. Really? They don't give a about it? Wow.
So, did you vote for Kamala?
Who I was I gonna vote for a criminal? Am I supposed to vote for a criminal?
Mm-hmm. So you voted for Kamala. That's fine. That's fine. Um, are some of your relatives in danger of being deported now that Trump might is going to be in office? So, how,
No, 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 no. That part actually I like. I mean, the reportation is not actually what I care about. I don't care about that stuff. It's the
what,
other stuff. It's the tariffs, illegal, like rule breaking. Like he's gonna break multiple other laws. Like anyway, let's live through the next 4 years. Let's talk about it after 4 years.
there you go. All right. Thank you so much, bro.
Nice talking to you, Tariq.
And that was the Democrat shield, by the way, guys. That was a Democrat shield. Mr. Edward was a Democrat shield. Let's get 3:13 a.m. 3:13 a.m. Unmute your microphone.
Hello?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Not much, Mr. Tariq. I'm really not ready to speak. I'm just listening, really. But I guess two things I really wish you would point out more is
Mm-hmm.
uh I wish you would point out the fact that us as FBAs, we've been here longer than the majority of white people in this country, because the majority of white people in this country are immigrants or were immigrants. And I think you should like talk about how mostly these white people, they really have a very gross misunderstanding of genetics. That those really the only two things I gotta say.
Okay. Yeah,
That's
thank you.
really
Actually, I'm always pointing out that foundational Black Americans have been here on this land longer than everybody, damn near. So I point that out all the time. I'm always talking about our indigenous ancestry and how we are the foundation. I mean, damn.
From New York Times best-selling author Tariq Nasheed comes Foundational Black American Race Baiter, the groundbreaking book shaking up the conversation on race in America. As one of the most influential voices for Black Americans today, Nasheed exposes the tactics used to manipulate, subjugate, and control Black communities. In this powerful read, Tariq Nasheed equips you with the knowledge to resist injustice and reclaim your narrative. Don't miss out on the book that's redefining the game. Foundational Black American Race Baiter, available now at officialfba.com. Get your copy today.